the Denver Broncos went and picked up 7 rookies after the draft to add to their roster. They are one of the best teams when finding undrafted gems, so which of these players has the best chances? Quarterback Neal of Vanderbilt isn't a shock that he went undrafted. He has an injury history and his tape just isn't that good. Over the last 2 seasons, he completed 59.7 and 59.8% of his passes. He does have an arm that can put plenty of velocity on the ball, but he isn't able to make all of the throws needed for the NFL. Brett Rippon can breathe easily because Neal isn't that much of a competition for him. I'd give him less than 1% chance he makes the 53-man roster. Western Michigan LaVante Bellamy is a running back that caught my attention during the pre-draft process because of how quick and shifty he is to make defenders miss and pick up chunks of yards. He isn't the toughest of runners and not a guy you want running between the tackles, but he has playmaker traits as a receiver and an outside runner. It's going to be an interesting camp battle for Bellamy, and I'd put his chances at 25%. Offensive tackle Hunter Watts from Central Arkansas is a player I was unable to find tape of to watch and break down for this video. As a result, I find it impossible to give an idea on his chances. Tarleton State wide receiver Zimari Manning is a receiver that I was only able to watch highlights of. The highlights are great, which is exactly what they are meant to be for players, obviously, hence highlights. Watching those highlights, however, he seems to have good hands, speed, and quickness. He dominated that competition, but since all there was to watch was the highlights, I can't accurately give his chances. The other wide receiver they brought in was Kendall Hinton out of Wake Forest, who is a former quarterback that saw 2019 be his first full year as a receiver, and it was quite a good year. Watching his tape, he has a lot of good traits that transition well to be a depth option in the NFL, and he actually graded higher for me than Tyree Cleveland did. Denver wants to revamp the receiver room, and only 3 receiver spots are filled, so I give Hinton a 50% chance. Only 2 of the Broncos' undrafted rookies were on the defensive side of the ball, and they both have the highest chances of making the roster. To get it out of the way, I'm giving them both 75% chance. 3 of the rookies Denver brought in were Demon Deacons, and Essang Bassey is the final of the 3. He was also my highest graded undrafted rookie, and he graded higher than multiple draft picks. Bassey has tackling issues and is a little undersized, but he has good ball skills and can help create more turnovers for the Denver Broncos. Vic Fangio does tend to like smaller defensive backs, which he is. The other undrafted defender was Douglas Coleman III out of Texas Tech, who picked up 8 interceptions in 2019. I didn't watch him pre-draft, but watching him for this video, he looked worth a 6th or 7th round flyer. Coleman is a solid tackler with solid range, solid athleticism, but he does really well when reading the quarterback and jumping routes. Denver is lacking safety depth, which helps Coleman. The reason Coleman and Bassey have the highest chance is Denver is looking to replace what Will Parks brought to this defense. Both of them can play that role, and the competition there isn't all that tough. Off-season programs are being impacted, so it's going to be interesting to see how it impacts these undrafted rookies. Whenever programs start back up, and even until then, it is all on these players to make the most of the opportunity before them. For Mile High Huddle and Sports Illustrated, I'm Eric Trickle.